Governor Moino commissions 3.3-kilometer Idua Road, reassures completion of inherited projects from preceding administration. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly probe cell, collapse of Kwa River Hotel. Nigerian Army commences recruitment of non-trade men and women. This and more shortly. And welcome to AKBC 45 News. I am Margaret Bassi. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino has urged the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to use his good office to help the state realize the Ibom Deep Sea Port, a palm oil refinery, and a petroleum product depot in the state. The governor made this call Friday during a courtesy call on him by the Senate President and at a state banquet organized in honor of Senator Akpabio and other visiting senators in Government House, Uyo. The state chief executive stated that the development of the seaport, which has the deepest water drought in Nigeria, will be an economic catalyst for Nigeria in the Gulf of Guinea, thanking the Senate President and his colleagues for visiting the state. He also thanked President Bola Tinubu and the senators for rallying round Akwa Ibom's son to make him the president of the 10th Senate. The governor noted that the progress of the state was more important than political divisions and called on leaders in various political strata to make their contributions to the growth and progress of Akwa Ibom. On his part, Senator Godswill Akpabio appreciated the governor for uniting the state across political divides. He described the governor as a man of peace, an apostle and disciple of peace, noting that Akwa Ibom is a very easy state to rule and govern, but also a very difficult place to unite. 800 entrepreneurs have been empowered by Akwa Ibom State government with 400 million naira to boost their businesses. Each of the beneficiaries got 500,000 naira in checks presented to them by Governor Umoino. A Government House reporter, Patience John, reports that the disbursement took place at Government House, Uyo. The report.
The beneficiaries are those who had completed training on Entrepreneurship Accelerator Program, Business Leadership and Entrepreneurship Program, Business Mastery Program, and Ibom-led Startup Accelerator and Incubation Program, being the first batch to benefit from the training with cash gift. Governor Moino described them as ambassadors of the program.
But I'd like to say clearly that you are ambassadors of this program. And indeed, ambassadors of the Arise agenda. Whether this program will continue to succeed will depend on you. You are like the first fruits of this program. And what you do with this program will open the doors for others. So you choose whether to shut the doors behind you or to keep the doors open for about 5,000 more persons that we intend to bring into this community.
The governor also advised the state government to train entrepreneurs thus.
You cannot go and be throwing money around that you have arrived. This little money is a seed, and if you nurture it well, it will bring a mighty harvest.
The team lead of Ibom Leadership and Entrepreneurship Development, Pastor Imobasi Jacob, thanked the governor for the vision, promising that with the training, the state will boast of more successful entrepreneurs.
Today is an expression of what the power of vision can do. Let's communicate. We started with the first 400, we finished the first batch. Went ahead and gave us approval to commence the next batch of another 400. That's the reason we are 800.
In their separate remarks, the head of Alumni Directorate and Support Services, Enterprise Development Center, Pan-Atlantic University, Lagos, Ms. Nina Ugu, and the General Manager of IBOM-led, Mrs. Ekaitu Moore, advised the beneficiaries on the need to sustain and grow their businesses. Speaking on behalf of the first batch of trainees, the alumni president, Daniel Esetang, commended Governor Moino for investing in them and promised to make judicious use of the startup money.
What this person is doing, whether she's using Juju to make business, is the fact that you have to put in your effort and let God bless the work of your hands.
That we have from time to time that these alumni, the beneficiaries, continue to make this acquired business community grow larger, that we will be able to testify that our governor has made a difference in acquired.
Checks of 500,000 naira each were presented to the 800 beneficiaries, including a physically challenged Jones Okonokman, a shoemaker who gifted a pair of shoes he made to the governor. He was rewarded with cash by the governor. IBOM Leadership and Entrepreneurship Development Center is a business school where entrepreneurs are trained free by the state government and subsequently given cash to build their businesses. They are trained in batches, and the target is for 5,000 entrepreneurs. Patience John, AKBC News.
The reconstructed 3.3-kilometer Idua Road and the emergency intervention works at the collapsed Afianced Road in Ekat local government area have been commissioned. Performing the commissioning, the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umoino, also directed a review of the Afianced Gully reclamation project to ensure that the outfall drains are properly channeled into a river. Speaking on Friday in Ekat, the governor noted that the importance of the two projects in connecting the different parts of Ekat and neighboring local governments and neighboring local communities, and assured of his commitment to completing projects initiated by the President's administration. He noted that the gully reclamation cannot be terminated in its current location to avert complications. The governor also announced his approval for the construction of the bridge to connect Ikwadekbenudo in Selubium local government area to Ikat through the south end of Idua Road, as well as extending the road on the north end to join the Dome Emmanuel Boulevard, as well as an intervention on the collapsed portion of Graceville Road in Ekat. Pastor Enos used the occasion to thank Ekat people for supporting his emergence as governor and cooperating with contractors to ensure successful execution of government projects in the state. He admonished Akwa Ibom youths on the importance of self-development, reassuring his administration commitment to supporting value-adding development programs for youth as well as entrepreneurship acceleration program. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Committee on Industry, Commerce and Tourism has embarked on a first-finding visit to the defunct Kwa River Hotel, Ekat. The visit was in fulfillment of the responsibility accorded it at plenary following a motion to investigate the reason for its collapse and abandonment with a view of resuscitating it. The motion was moved by the Ekat State Constituency Representative, Dr. Nsidebe Akata. Legislative Affairs reporter Oyokoswa will complete the story.
Leading the assembly delegation was the chairman of the committee, Chief Effiong Johnson. The committee first called at the Ekat local government chairman's office, Mr. Kaniyine Tommy, who led the team to and showed them around the facility. It was discovered that the buildings previously used for the hotel and its services were completely vandalized and occupied by people who claimed to have been paying rent to the core investor to which the government sold the property to, as explained by a retired permanent secretary with the Akwa Ibom State Civil Service, Mr. Nsudo.
Kwa River Hotels, as you all know, was one of the flagship hospitality industry hotel in the States. But it went moribund. So around 2001, the state government will occupy as part of its privatization program, privatize it to a company called Equalia Enterprises. The idea was that Equalia will come, we activate the, in fact, it was to build a new hotel from this site. And after building the hotel, it would have been on maybe in the next 5 years from that period. But unfortunately, since then, nothing has happened over 22 years after.
Other members of the community also spoke on the present state of the place, which is overgrown with weeds.
Share, my house is there. Share the same transformer with this quarter. That I can tell you for 2 years now, we had even accepted from NEPA that, okay, forget it, don't give us a light. Because they are not using armored cable for us again. You can see the transformer there. They are not. If they use armored cable to power light for us, that same day to pull it off. So what am I saying? The characters living here have different groups.
It has remained as an abandoned property where any character of persons are here. And I can tell you, if you look at the security reports from SSS and police, this has become a den of criminals.
The committee caught up with one of the occupants of the property who claimed to manage the site for the investor. After assessing the accessible parts of the site, the committee invited the investor and the property manager to appear before it on Monday, May 6, for further scrutiny.
Monday by 9 o'clock, you have to appear in the House of Assembly with all your document agreement you use in buying this property. The other agreement submitted to you, which you said, it was submitted by your brother to you. Now I assure you, government will take a proper decision. Government is losing a lot of money, and individual is making money 22 years after that period, and the local government is losing. This will have been employed. We have employed a lot of persons that are indigenous of Ekiti to work if this hotel was working. Even the way it is. So we'll see on it on Monday.
Uyoko Uswa, AKBC News.
The Nigerian Army has announced the commencement of recruitment applications for non-trade men and women. This is contained in a post on the official X handle of the Nigerian Army on Friday, stating that the application, which is free, starts from May 3 and will end on Tuesday, May 7. Non-trade men and women are those who wish to join the Nigerian Army but have only their senior school certificate. The post further stated that the application is free at the Nigerian Army website. According to the post, shortlisted candidates will participate in the state recruitment screening from June 20th to July 10th, 2024, and warned that the recruitment into the Nigerian Army is free. The public should be wary of fraudsters. We'll be back after this short break. Please stay with us. Back now to the rest of our news. More than 70 elders, retirees and senior citizens across Akwa Ibom State started their month of May with smiles courtesy of a one-day wellness clinic entitled Retire Happy, Stay Healthy. The event, which was targeted at retirees and elderly citizens from 65 years and above, was entirely free. Uyukuswa reports.
It was an all-encompassing session comprising medical consultations, foot and full-body massage, dental and eye care, blood pressure and sugar checks, among other medical services. This is what some of the 70 senior citizens said about the wellness clinic.
In fact, they are doing so marvelously well. I don't know where this man has gotten the money to give us all this free medical attention. And the breakfast, the lunch, the snacks, the smoothies, everything.
Program having been here, I learn a lot and I know how to, take care of myself.
Forum India, Agbanagbana that ke meditate before. Then things like this ke akemi bando loneliness kufo.
The lead facilitator of the clinic, Dr. Onyeme Udomo, said the event was a deliberate step to address the irregularities against retirees and senior citizens occasioned by breakdown of the extended family system. He noted that giving the elders and retirees a befitting living and life was more beneficial to the state and nation rather than a befitting burial when their demise may have been caused by neglect, abuse, and other preventable and treatable conditions. Dr. Udomo also spoke of plans to facilitate the establishment of hospices and a home for elderly people, as well as a monotechnic to cater for the training of professional caregivers.
So for those of you who say, oh, maybe we're going to do so many other times. This is what the plan is. We want to produce a value chain. What is a value chain? We have started with the wellness center. We are going to graduate to a hospice. We will have befitting living for our elderly people.
There were also lessons on erectile dysfunction management, mental health issues, anxiety, loneliness, depression, and how to manage them. Other topics discussed at the session included appropriate feeding and hydration habits, healthy fruit eating and combinations, polypharmacy, and ribosine. Mtisong Pius James Okon IV of the Akwa Isobe Maisongi Bibiu thanked the organizers for the initiative to give elders a treat and invoked blessings on them, the state and nation. The event was facilitated by Dr. Onyeme Udomo, Dr. David Etugesien, Dr. Asukwa Eshet, Dr. Augustine Bassi, and others through CRIPS Healthcare Services in collaboration with PIN Consult. It was also in commemoration of the official opening of CRIPS Pharmaceuticals and Healthcare Services, 21 Omoren Street, Uyo. Uyoko Uswa, AKBC News.
It was a moment of joy as friends and family turned up to celebrate Uduak Nanga, popularly known as MC Calculus, a graduate of Electrical Electronic Engineering of the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikorosura, as currently holding of the Guinness World Record on longest lessons in mathematics. The event, which was organized by the founder and co-founder of King Kids Christian International School, number 14J, Sam Adam Street, a wet housing estate, Uyo, Professor Etam Udoisen and wife Grace. The report.
The event began with a roadwork to celebrate the success of Uduak Nanga as he broke the Guinness World Record. Speaking, the project supervisor and sponsor of this exercise, Professor Etam Udoisen, who is the founder of King's Kid Christian International School, appreciated Mr. Nanga for being an eye-opener to his peers. Professor Udoisen expressed happiness for his success.
Nanga, God has promoted him because he recognizes God, and he combines that recognition with studying lifelongly, and today we are celebrating it.
The rector, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Barrister Moses Umobong, represented by the deputy rector of the institution, Lionel Kuka, commended Mr. Nanga on his achievements and encouraged him to do more in life.
What you have done is to demystify mathematics. Mathematics is a subject that many students run away from primary, secondary, higher institutions. And they believe that it is very, very difficult.
Mr. Uduak Nanga, popularly known as MC Calculus, appreciated God for the grace given to him to succeed the math-a-thon exercise. He appreciated Professor Udoisien and wife Dr. Cecilia for giving him the platform to showcase his talent and thanked everyone for the support.
I always tell people that when God's in your case becomes a briefcase. And so today, we come out triumphantly, not because of me, because of us. Not because of me, because of God. Not because of me, but because it's never too late to build a new world.
Goodwill messages were received from various groups and organizations who thronged the venue to celebrate him, including the Permanent Secretary, Pastor Ekarika, Essay to Governor Mr. Nyekeme Fimba, Dean of Students, Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Mr. Nsikak Atai, and the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, among others. The event also featured cultural display. Udwagabasukbusan, AKBC News.
Friends, family members, and staff of AKBC, as well as other sympathizers, Joint Director and Head Legal Unit of AKBC, Mr. Peter Anwan, to bid farewell to his mother, Deaconess Grace Willie Anwan, who died at the age of 81. The funeral of the octogenarian was conducted by Apostolic Church Nigeria at Efoi town in Eket local government area. Woodward Oposen completes the story.
Speaking on the topic, whom do you work with? The officiating minister, Apostle Etahide, who is the field superintendent of the Apostolic Church, Akpabiu, urged Christians to work with God at all times, no matter the condition, status, or position in the society.
Whom do you work with? Afo asangaya newo. Anam bono abasi. Asangaya abasi. Etendine yirwaba. Abasi emene yodo.
According to the biography, late Deaconess Grace Anwan was a teacher by calling, a leader by inspiration, a disciplinarian, and a mentor. The octogenarian was further described as a pragmatic witness member in her heydays and a rallying personality in the church. The funeral attracted some government officials, including the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Professor Imam Mufat, who represented the Governor, Umoino, and the Vice Chairman, Transition Committee, Okanafon Local Government Area, Dr. Ubong Jana, who expressed sadness of their bereavement.
I, however, urge you to take solace in the fact that your late mother-in-law lived to see you rise to positions of public trust and responsibility.
The event featured Scent of Rights by wives of pastors in the Apostolic Church, tributes and condolences from the AKBC, choral renditions, hymns, thanksgiving, and prayer for the bereaved family.
We learned that the late Deaconess Grace Willie Anwan was a pillar of strength and a source of love and guidance to you and your family. Her loss is deeply felt, not only by her immediate family, but also by all those who had the privilege of knowing her. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Barrister Peter Anwan, and your family as you navigate through this period of grief and sorrow.
I want to miss you all,
Late Deaconess Anwan is survived by children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. In-laws among other relatives include Barrister Peter Anwan.
My dear mother, she was a good woman, good mother, a cordial relationship. We operated. We've lost everything good about her. I will pray that God preserves her soul.
It's my joy that all of us are complete and alive and doing well to bid her farewell.
No matter how old somebody gets, when you lose a loved one, you will have to feel it. But we are happy that she lived a good life. She lived well. She knew God, and so she's going to be with the Lord.
AKBC News.
On that sad note, we conclude our bulletin this morning. But before we go, another look at stories that made up the headlines. Akwa Ibom State government has disbursed 400 million naira to 800 entrepreneurs to boost their businesses. We also brought you a report that Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Committee on Industry, Commerce and Tourism has embarked on a first fact-finding visit to the defunct Kwa River Hotel in Ekata. That's our package this morning. We thank you for your time and do have a lovely Sunday morning. I am Margaret Bassi.